Hello and welcome everybody to the final event of these Galactic Wargames! Today, we'll be watching as all the different species bring their fleets into the fray, and each one is currently getting ready. Everyone is waiting with their fleets, and all of which have been outfitted with their own training munitions locked into their computers. This allows entire fleets to face off against each other without losses that will be calculated at planetary level. It should be noted that only once has the Wargames ever allowed entire fleets to engage without training munitions, and the financial costs are still being felt to this day. The only advantage to the losses that anyone ever knows is that the fact that the losing side can then outfit their own fleets with newer, more advanced vessels. The rules for this competition are very simple. Every single species will start at their home or cradle world. They will bring their home fleet, and they will arrive as soon as their fleet allows. And seeing as how all ships leave a certain electrogravitic signature when they return into normal space, there will be a clear advantage to those that arrive first. One might believe that this would mean that the closest species has the advantage. However, that is not the case. In terms of speed, some species are very, very difficult to beat to the battle area. Most will use hyperspace lanes or create their own wormholes, and there will also be some that will simply jump from one spot to the other, and it will not be easy to stop. However, if they do take the hyperspace lanes, they only have certain places they can come out. Upon arrival to the battle area, each fleet will need to engage all other fleets as they arrive. Arriving from all different directions makes being the first to arrive not the easiest position to be in, and you can easily be outflanked. Right now, as we look across the empty battle zone waiting for everything to start, let us bring up our human Steve to answer a few questions we have about the humans and how they have risen to the top of the Galactic Wargames. And Steve, thank you for joining us. How does it feel to know that from the very first round of the games that they've competed in, the humans have reached first place against all odds? About as good as winning any game, I guess. It's not... I don't understand. Is it not that all humans are cheering in celebration over their victory over everyone else in the games, especially against species that believe the humans were simply a humorous joke? Oh, that's always fun, sure. It's always good to bring a bit of humility to others. You know, you don't want bad things to happen if you don't. There's nothing wrong with experiencing complete jubilation there, Steve. Especially upon seeing your species claim victory so vehemently as you have. Oh, we take a little pride in it. That's sure, fine. That absolutely, yeah, sure. But just like any other older man has told, one of our up-and-coming boys, when they score their first victory or their first points, you just look at him and say, "Great, kid. Now don't get cocky." What does this word mean, cocky? My translation is not understanding, and as I read this, a few possibilities are truly not for the description of young audio receptors to hear. Let's just call it pride, hubris, or something like that. Let me just put it succinctly here. Pride has been the downfall of so many that I can't count them all. There are examples throughout our histories, even our legends, where a leader or a group got too prideful and they ended up losing. And they didn't just lose a battle. They didn't just lose a couple. They lost everything. That is very, very interesting, Steve. Could you give us a historical example, if you could? One from your world, if you could, so much. Sure, no problem. Let's see. How about this one? Okay. There was a great tactician named Napoleon, attempted to subjugate massive areas of our planet. And this is before cartridge ammunition, so this was a long time ago. Due to his revolutionary thinking, at least for its time, he won battles that the numbers, if you just went by the numbers, said he could not have won, but he did. After a few of these battles, he believed he couldn't lose. he couldn't be defeated, which eventually led him to a loss so damaging, so destructive, that his entire campaign failed. And soon after, his empire failed. It was a disaster, all because of pride. Pride jumped up and bit him right in the nuts. That is a very interesting example. Are there more? Oh, plenty more. Throughout our history, as far as our written history goes, and even I'm sure some history we're still not allowed to know. It's absolutely insane. You're not allowed to know histories? That's a whole nother conversation. We'll stick with this, okay? All right, but that's still an interesting subject. What about legends? You said legends have been known where pride has come back to bite them. Could you elaborate? Yeah, sure. How about this one? There was a man that was supposedly half human and half ethereal. And he showed so much pride in what he had accomplished that he actually angered another full ethereal. And this cost him his entire family. I mean, cost him all that. And you remember what I said about, when you take away everything a man's got, what does he turn into? Yes, I remember. The most dangerous thing in the universe. And you haven't lost anything like that, have you, Steve? No, don't worry about that. Let's get back to it. Even after completing 12 missions that were considered suicide missions in order to retrieve what he had lost, he was promised that he would get his loved ones back. The pride of that full ethereal was so bruised that he had actually made it through, that it pissed him off even more, which meant that, because of pride being bruised, that they were going to take everything, everything he had from the half ethereal. And because of that, well, yeah, the whole system just collapsed around them. Everything just started to go to shit. Now, if you don't mind me going into something a little more, there was another one that was considered a legend for a long time until we actually found that city of Troy that they fought over. And pride had put their names into history, those who fought. But it cost the greatest warriors of the time everything, all because of pride. It came back and it hurt them. It didn't just hurt them, it freaking killed them. So this is why the humans look so somber, even in the face of victory. Well, that, and the fact that we would prefer not to make everybody hate and fear us. And how would you possibly do that? Oh, you'll see. I guess we will. And as we wait for the start of the event, let's check in with our sponsors. Welcome back. And every species seems to be lined up. I see the counter getting ready to start, and it is winding down. We will be keeping our eyes, all of them, on the battle zone. Reason being why we are not following the fleets, because it is pretty much impossible for our cameras to keep up. It is also against many rules to bring any type of recording to check in against someone's military equipment. It is considered not only rude, but a tantamount to wanting aggression to happen, which is why we don't do it. Oh, and there is the buzzer, and the sensors are already picking up FTL signatures from all over as they move in towards the battle zone. Who will be first to reach the zone? At this point, your guess is as good as mine. Yes, I know that is a human phrase, but I'm going to use it because it works here. Usually it takes about an hour for someone to reach the zone. However, it has been so long since the last time a Space Galactic War Games has come in. FTL has advanced, and we are going to be and it seems like the first fleets are beginning to arrive, and yes, I see, yes, that is the Dolce, the Sanaha, the Len, oh, and the poop decks. They have all come in almost at the same time. They seem to be jumping in from the space lanes, and that does seem to be the fastest way in. And we're watching, we see other fleets starting to come in. Yes, the Slingloads, the Loopies, the Beers, and the Nine have all jumped in. It seems as though they're using some sort of warp, almost like a wormhole, to come in as well. And we're expecting a whole bunch of shooting, and I'm seeing nothing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why they're not engaging. Did they not get the word? Did they know to fire? Yes, they know. This is the games. I don't know why they're not firing, but we see another group coming in. Ah, yes. The Lactetes, the Namans, the pack have also entered. It seems as though they're jumping in, and behind them is the Az and the Sax. The Asler are right behind them. And we have a few more coming in, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to figure out who is coming in. Yes, the Yamar, the Sovereign. I can't keep up with them. They are jumping in, and they are not firing at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not understanding what is going on here. I'm also being told, as I'm looking on my screen here, that the humans have not even begun to travel. Perhaps they're waiting for the field to clear before they jump in, which does make sense, and it would make things easier. However, they will be looked at as cowards if they do not jump soon. I'm going to see if I can get Human Steve to let us know what's going on. Human Steve! Human Steve! Human Steve! Yes, Human Steve, what are the humans waiting for? This! What? Oh, my eyes! Oh, that burns! Oh, my eyes! Ow! That was a huge energy spike, ladies and gentlemen. Something just came in. Before I went blind, I saw a quick spike from the human's homeworld, and suddenly there's something right in front of us. Oh, the energy flash came across the sensors. I can barely see my eyes. They're starting to come in. Thankfully, one of my eyes was pointing in the other direction, and I can actually turn to see what is that? Ladies and gentlemen, there's not on my sensors. What did the humans just jump in here? Was that a moon? Is that a space station? What in the great Maker's creation? That's not his. That's ours. What? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting sensor readings. They're coming in so fast now that I can see with most of my eyes here. The sensor reading, entire fleets are being wiped out before they even have a chance to actually fight back. It seems that when the humans jumped in, there was some sort of pulse that scrambled all the sensors. Everybody was trying to reboot, and before they can even start the fire around this titanic ship that seems to be firing all sorts of weapons everywhere in all different directions. The human armada are swinging around. They're humans swinging left and right and up and down. We're switching over right now so we can see where the lasers are exact pointing, and it seems as though, yes, they are surgically striking everything around. The training munitions are striking dozens of ships at a time. We're trying to get all the calculations. They're coming in right now, and it seems as though losses for everyone but humans are calculated at 86%. How is that possible? Check the data again. Did the pulse damage their weapons? What about the guidance? The guidance systems, can they even lock on? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to say, but it seems as though any ships that are not human are simply firing blind, not really taking any type of damage on the human ship. And it seems as though, yes, it is already over, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. I am seeing on my data pad, it is just screaming at me that everything is over. That was fast. I don't even know what I'm looking at, ladies and gentlemen. What am I looking at? Human Steve, come here. What am I looking at? What am I looking at? What is that? It's a Titan class dreadnought. You don't know what that is? We have a few of those as protectors for our planet. There's more than one? How many of these do you have? That's a rude question, isn't it? Yes, that was rude. My apologies, Steve. I didn't expect anything like that. That flash was a little strong, Human Steve. That is why you're wearing dark spectacles over your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, the humans knew this was going to happen, and they actually have something dark over their photoreceptors so they are not blinded. Did you get to see all this? Oh yeah, and it was a hell of a show. According to my readings here, the amount of direct fire from the vessel, the large dreadnought, what is... My translator's saying it means something else. Something about no fear. Yep, it means that too. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though the amount of fire from the main vessel deactivated 69% of the opponents against them in the opening salvo. Yep, that's without bringing out the good stuff too. The good stuff? Yeah, the good stuff. You heard it here first, folks. The humans have even greater military strength than what we have seen here. Tell us, why would humans develop such incredible weapons when full-on warfare is so unnecessary now? So destructive on so many worlds, it doesn't make any sense that any military victory would be as bitter as defeat. Why? Was this just for the Galactic Wargames? No, it's just always better to have and not need than need and not have. Besides, you can look at it this way. We have changed our mindset over time. We're wardens, not crusaders, okay? The age of exploration anywhere around in Sol or any of our areas has already been searched by other species. It makes no point. Right now, we're just trying to hold on to what we got. And if somebody needs some help, we need to be ready to do it. We need to be able to go and help them out, bring supplies to, we could save an entire planet now. That's what this ship was originally designed for. But it doesn't hurt to have some protection around it. Protection? You call that just protection? Yeah, that's just protection for us. That's why we didn't bring the good stuff. Okay, yes, the good stuff. Well, now, what was your plan now that you've shown all this extreme amount of firepower and extreme efficiency? Well, that's easy. Now that the battle's over, there's only one thing left to do since we didn't actually, slaughter anybody. And, we've finished up the games. And, what might that be? It's time to party, man. Beer? Thank you, Human Steve. I haven't tried this malt beverage before, but I have heard of it. Thankfully, I know that it will not damage my system too much. But I do not believe I'll get more than one or two of these down before I'm, what's the word? We got a lot of words for it. Let's just say hammered, schnockered, blitzed, plastered, or plowed. Any of those. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though the human ships are also wanting to get into this party. Time to party, as they're beginning to show off different lights, different lasers, and it seems as though they're firing off, is that flares? It's fireworks. Fireworks across all of space, and ladies and gentlemen, now that it's the end of the Galactic War Games, it is time to look and see what we have accomplished. However, it does not take any time to calculate the score, as the humans have completely dominated these Galactic War Games by showing their ingenuity, their prowess, their firepower, and their desire to simply show off. However, not show off with pride. However, I do not understand that, Steve. Could you explain? Well, it's real simple. Okay, think of it this way. You've seen human football, right? Actual football that you actually play. Yes, where you kick in the goal. No. The one where you use your hands. I know there's two of them. Well, when you go in, if you're playing against somebody that has a lot of pride, even though you win, they're going to be respecting you. They'll respect you for being so good. However, if you go up there and dance and spike the football and, yell in their face like they're no good or something, they're not going to respect you, and your pride's going to make you look like an asshole. I think I understand. So it's, what was the phrase? Spike, not score? No. The phrase is score, but don't spike. Enjoy the fact that you won, but don't be a dick about it. I see. Well, that is very good lesson for everyone else there, Human Steve. I'm going to have to think about that as I enjoy this beverage here, which seems to already be going into my cranium for some reason. I didn't know that for some... Oh, ladies and gentlemen, woo! I don't know I don't know how they deal with this, ladies and gentlemen, but it seems like we're going to be partying very well after we sign off. It seems as though I've only had a little bit of this. However, Human Steve and his buddies are already on their second, third, and I think fourth bottle over there. Wow, they seem to be putting this down. So apparently, they're not only great tacticians, they're also great drinkers. And before I have this go all the way to my head, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us during these Galactic War Games. I hope you did enjoy the games as much as I did. This is your host, Granasnik, signing off. Hello everybody, this is Syntax. Thank you so much for joining me today on the final chapter of the Galactic War Games. Before I go, I need to send out some special thank yous to a few of my supporters, and those will be MTF Guard, Guardian Sage, SS Demon, Erica Gem, Prozac and Pancakes, and Brian Kemp. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Everybody else, I'll see you on the next one. This is Syntax, punching out.